Hello and welcome back again in our discussion on PSP certification preparation. Today I am going to discuss the primary aspect of the studies, and today is the second lesson which I am going to take. Now, as you all know that the previous POA manual and present POA manual, there is a significant differences about how they have organized the information. And with the advancement of technology, the concept of security also changes, because essentially we do the risk assessment, and when we do the when we go for the mitigating measures, then mostly we depend on technology, and as technology is evolving very quickly, so the changes in technology is very evident in the new study material. And another aspect which is also significantly changed in the present POA manual is that the owner's perspective was not actually written in the first POA manual. If you go, the first POA manual started with exactly on a program-based security, where they started with the introduction of physical protection system, and there they have started with all this, how a physical protection system is designed, and etc. and etc. But in new POA manual, when you read, you will find the first chapter, they are talking about enterprise security risk management approach. So this is a very important difference between these two books, and I personally feel that the new way of explaining things, physical security, is much more convenient and much more practical than that of the previous one. Now, adding owner's perspective is very important, because a owner, when he plans a business, or when he plans an organization, so he has certain things in his mind. He also conceptualizes his risk, potential risk, though he may not be very accurate in explaining or defining the risk, for which he take the help of security consultants, or for which you are studying this book. So when he discusses about his security matters, and if the physical security professional does not understand the perspective of the owner, then probably he will find out a solution which may not be liked by the owner, or which may not be cost effective, because an owner always looks for ROI, because when we think about a business is all about profit and also maybe reputation. So when a business owner plans his every component of the business, like marketing, like management, like operation, and there he allocates certain amount of money. Security is one aspect where else he also has to allocate certain amount of money. Now, for a business, in security, if he allocates a very good amount of money, but the return of investment by ROI is not logical, then probably is not going to, even if you make the best plan, probably is not going to adopt to that plan. So that's why the owner's perspective, understanding owner's perspective, is very important by a security professional. And in my practical experience, most of the time when I go for consultancy in many business organization, first of all I try to meet the owner and try to understand what level of security he really wants, and what is the likely budget he might spend for that security. So because if I make a utopian plan, which is probably the best plan in the world, but if the owner is not capable of giving adequate resource to push that plan, then probably this plan is not going to be implemented. So this is very important for a security professional to understand. The next thing is I shall not go into the details of any chapter. Obviously, in subsequent classes, I'll discuss every chapter as much as possible so that anybody who is preparing can take the help of those discussions and can read the book, make the relation between my discussion and the book, and can prepare well. Now, today I'll just confine myself within uh, one aspect or one thing, that is how actually you should read a book. Now, you take say you take the present POI manual, the big volume of book, and I'm sure most of you who are working in security for 5 to 7 years, you are already informed about most of the things which are written here. May not be exactly the same way, the way which is written here, but you know more or less the concepts and ideas, then security structures, risk assessment, and all these things. I suggest when you take a book, you should first read the index. So many of us, we do not read the index. So the index means the table of contents. So when you read the table of contents, say here the first chapter is concept in security risk management. So when you read more details, that what exactly they try to mean by the concept of security risk management, there you can see the enterprise security risk management approach, the benefit of enterprise security risk management program, etc., etc. So every chapter gives you an idea what the author of this book wants you to learn, and the sum total of this learning will make you a good security professional. So from the beginning till end of the content, you should try to read first that what all are explained in this book. The second thing you should learn, you should see that everything which are written in a chapter is potentially is a question for you. So questions will come from there. So there are two aspects. One is for learning sake, you should also learn these things in details to be a good security professional, and for certification for the exam also you should understand the concept part of it. So even if there is a situational question where a situation is described and then certain 4 or 5 options are given, you can understand that in that situation I should adopt this solution. So situational question will not misguide you if you understand the concept. You can, if you read the straightforward questions, then many a times straightforward questions do not actually give you the in-depth view of a concept. So thereby you should understand the concept first, then you should go for searching questions and problem solvings. And problem, as I told in my previous class also, you can try to get a flashcard, or you can prepare your flashcard, right? Like if you read, say for example, if you from first chapter, if you read the first paragraph, there you can find, you can prepare some questions like who has prepared, how this is prepared, this particular book is prepared. So the concept of enterprise security risk management was developed in 2010 by members of ASIS CSO Roundtable, now the CSO Center, to approach risk management as the process of managing security with a focus on using risk principles, coordinating the process with senior management. So this is the crux of the whole sentence, that ASIS roundtable, they have understood that whenever you are going to deal a security problem, it is very important to discuss this thing with the senior management or the business owner to understand their risk concept, because when you go for risk treatment, you see there are a lot of types of ways you can do the risk treatment. One way is risk acceptance. So certain risks are there. If the business owner feels like to accept that risk, so that is one way of mitigating the risk. So risk transfer could be another way. So there are many ways you can really handle a risk. So for that, a deep involvement of the management or the business owner is very important, and which is being realized and which is being incorporated in this book. So I summarize today's discussion by saying that when you read a book, you read the content, try to see the concepts which are written, try to see how things are organized, and then uh, try to relate each other top subjects, and then try to understand which are the conceptual chapters and which are the practical chapters. So making these two different things, the practical chapters will have some facts and figures. The conceptual chapter will be more on concepts, that how you should think and others. So that's how you should take preparation. So here I end my today's discussion. I hope my discussions will help you to be a good security professional, or in another way, as you grow old, to be a good security consultant, and you will be able to help your organization for which you are working. So thank you very much for listening me. I hope I'll be coming up with more lessons, and I'll go in details of every chapter. Thank you very much for listening once again, and have a good day. Thank you.